It's getting close to being the most spooktacular time of year, and it is my favorite time of year at Disneyland, Halloween. I know this can be a hot debate between which time is better at Disneyland, Halloween or Christmas, but for me, I find Halloween the most magical time of year in the parks. I'm headed back this fall to experience it again because for me, it never gets old. So let's dive into Halloween at Disneyland and let me tell you everything you need to know about Halloween time in the parks so you can plan the most magical trip to the happiest place on earth. Welcome to the Savvy Sightseer, the channel that helps you travel savvy. This year, Halloween will run from August 31st to October 31st. There is no such thing as planning too early when planning a trip to Disneyland during the Halloween season. Halloween time has become so popular that crowds now rival the crowds at Christmas time in the parks, and it's easy to see why this time has become a favorite for many. I know many people might disagree with me, but I find the decorations at Halloween time the best all year, and better than the holiday decorations. There's nothing quite like Halloween in Disneyland. So the first thing you need to know about Disneyland at Halloween time is, of course, all the decorations, because it is what makes this time of year unrivaled, in my opinion, to any other time. Disneyland is literally transformed overnight into a festive landscape of pumpkins, fall leaves, orange and yellow banners, and autumn-colored lights everywhere. From the moment you arrive at the gates of Disneyland, you will be greeted by a giant Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Goofy, and Donald Duck made out of pumpkins, instantly setting the tone for the Halloween spirit. In fact, the first time I came for Halloween, I actually cried. And at the gates of California Adventure, you will be greeted by none other than Oogie Boogie himself. I can't explain the excitement I start to feel as soon as I walk into the main entry plaza. Hearing the music floating through the plaza and seeing the Halloween decorations adorning the gates, I am filled with a happiness that only the happiest place on earth can give me, and I cannot wait to get through those gates and experience Halloween in Disneyland. And when they are lit up at night, oh man, I just get giddy even thinking about it right now. Once inside the gates, you will see the beautiful floral Mickey in front of you. Here's a tip, don't stop. You will see everyone stopping to take photos, but just keep on moving to get into the parks, especially if you're there to rope drop. Come back and take pictures later. The crowds will have died down a bit and you can get better photos, along with not wasting time that could have been used for riding rides. As you enter Main Street, this is where Disneyland can take your breath away. You will see the whole street lined with decorations, and right at the center is the giant Mickey. This is probably one of the most, if not the most popular spot to take a photo at. There's also a photographer station there to take PhotoPass pictures. Again, you could waste valuable time waiting in this line. So if you aren't first in line, just keep moving, come back later. And even more jaw-dropping is Main Street at night. And don't forget to check Giant Mickey winking at you as you're on your way out of the parks. Throughout the parks, you will find some things decorated more than others. For instance, Cars Land is completely decked out and transformed into radiator screams. It's my favorite land in both parks during the time of year. At night, right at dusk, is when Cars Land's neon lights flicker on and the land comes completely alive. This happens every night, but at Halloween time, it's just extra special. During other times in the year, the song Life Could Be a Dream plays, but at Halloween, it's I'll Put a Spell on You. And boy, does this time of night put a spell on me. It can't be missed. And make sure to ride Radiator Springs Racers during the day and night for two very different experiences. Also in DCA, you have to check out the Headless Horseman on Buena Vista Street. It makes for a great photo op, and there's usually a photographer there nearby too. The characters are also in special festive outfits that change each year. I saw a sneak preview of the outfits that Mickey and Minnie will be wearing during Halloween this year, and they might be my favorite yet, so I cannot wait to see them in person. The Cars characters in Cars Land are also even dressed up for this event. You will see more of the villains out and about in the parks also during this time of year, which makes it fun if you're a big villain fan. And in Disneyland, do not forget to check out the Halloween tree located in Frontierland near the Golden Horseshoe Saloon. This tree is in honor of Rad Bradbury, the author of Fahrenheit 451, and also a Walt Disney collaborator on several projects such as Spaceship Earth and Epcot. Besides the decorations, there are complete rides and attractions that are transformed for this time of year. The biggest one is the Haunted Mansion. This will typically shut down in August to get ready for the long haul, from the start of Halloween in the parks until after the holiday season is over. It is completely rethemed to the Nightmare Before Christmas movie. Make sure to take in a nice big deep breath when you're coming across the dining scene in the ride. You have to smell that smell. If you smelled it, you know what I'm talking about. It's one of the most memorable scents at Disneyland. The gingerbread house down below is also something to make sure you look at and appreciate. This gingerbread house is actually real, and a new design is made every single year and placed on that table. It's made by the bakers at Disney, and it is amazing to look at. This ride can get extremely busy during this time of year, so Genie Plus can always put you at an advantage. You will want to be careful rope dropping this attraction and make sure that it's open first thing. You can always ask a cast member if you're there at rope drop and see if it's going to be open. A few years ago, we planned to rope drop it to make sure we didn't have to wait in a super long line, and unfortunately it was closed. So we wasted valuable time that we could have used to rope drop other attractions. Other rides that also have Halloween overlays or changes are Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters, which turns into Luigi's Honkin' Halloween. Mater's Junkyard Jamboree turns into Mater's Graveyard Jamboree. And they play great Halloween themed music while these rides run, adding to the spirit of the season. Guardians of the Galaxy transforms in the evenings only from about 3 to 10 p.m. to Monsters After Dark. Always check the app though for hours because these are always subject to change. During this time of year, there are also other special events that take place, like Halloween Screams, which is a projection show. There's special fireworks on select nights and parades twice daily. And again, as always, please check the app to see when these are taking place because they can be canceled due to weather and times can change. And then there's Oogie Boogie Bash on select nights. Oogie Boogie Bash is actually already sold out for this year and is a separately ticketed event. The Oogie Boogie Bash takes place on select nights in DCA. On nights that this is happening, it's important to note that DCA will close down early and you will only be able to stay in the park if you have a ticket to Oogie Boogie Bash. Without that ticket, you will have to leave the park. So, if you don't have a park hopper option, you will want to make sure that you reserve Disneyland on those days so you make sure you have as much time as possible in the park. Also found in DCA is where the movie Coco comes to life in the Plaza de Familia. There you will find activities for kids such as coloring a mask and performances throughout the day. In Disneyland, in Frontierland near Rancho del Zocalo restaurant, you will find a tribute to Dia de los Muertos. It's actually very beautiful. Another feature of Halloween time at Disneyland are special food and drink items. The Gray Stuff at Red Rose Tavern, which is one of my personal favorites in Disneyland, is there all year, but gets a fun Halloween makeover. Each year, new food items are released along with the classics from the past. You can always check out the website to see which food items are happening for this season. The whole Disneyland resort area gets into the spirit, with hotels even decorating their lobbies and downtown Disney decked out in pumpkins galore. This is such a popular time of year that most rides have already gone through most of their refurbishments in the months of July and August, so they're mostly up and running, except for those unplanned closures that seem to be more and more frequent nowadays. But if you come at the end of October, be prepared for Small World to be closed down because it'll be getting ready for its Christmas overlay. In fact, if you come at the end of October, you're going to start to see little hints of Christmas popping up with snow on the castle, and I've even seen Christmas decorations starting to be hung around New Orleans Square right at the end of October. So just be prepared for a little Christmas to maybe show up during the Halloween time. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. My info is down below, and I'm happy to help answer any questions you might have about Halloween at Disneyland or Disneyland in general. I can't wait to be back in the parks this fall to experience my favorite time of year there, and I hope that you too can experience this magical season at Disneyland. Thank you for joining me and letting me share about Halloween time at Disneyland. Make sure to hit subscribe so you can see more of my videos to help inspire your next travel destination and to help you travel savvy.